This is the Royals POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Kansas City Royals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in to the Royals POSTCAST here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chance Liebau, and I'm here to bring you reaction to every single Royals game the rest of the way. You can follow me on Twitter at Chance Liebau. That's at ChanceLieBau. And if you can't make a show live, don't worry. These episodes are uploaded all the time for you to listen to on demand after the fact. So after this episode is over, I will do my best to quickly get this uploaded to Spotify, Apple Music, all your podcasting networks so that you can listen to it. Before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel. If you're here, turn on our notifications so that you get an alert whenever we go live or whenever Jack posts a video with his regularly scheduled Locked On Royals podcast here on the channel. Thank you so much for joining the show. Feel free to join the live chat. I've been trying to do better at responding to comments, and so feel free to join the live chat and continue to let us know your thoughts on the game because, we've got a pretty busy group chat going right now. A lot of people want Sam Long gone. Long and Clark, as Hud would say, got to go. We can get into that in a little bit. I think that wasting my time on the seventh and eighth best relievers in that bullpen is a little bit stupid to do in a game where the offense almost got no hit. So we won't talk too much about the bullpen guys because really, what do you expect from Sam Long or Taylor Clark? You need a couple low leverage guys because not everybody can be a bullpen ace. Those guys are on a rotating clock. They'll go up or down whenever the Royals, have another healthy guy. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them just because I don't think that there's much value in talking about the 12th and 13th best pitchers on the active roster right now. So let's get into it. Here is what you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
So I went back, right? But we got started. Usually we start like 5 seconds after each one ends. But today, obviously we didn't have to start at midnight Central Time because they played an afternoon game today. But I went back and looked at Baseball Savant before we got started. It took me about 2 or 3 minutes after the fact. Ryan Nelson was really, really good against the Royals today. This was it was kind of a shove it up your rear end kind of day for Ryan Nelson. It was really, really good. 63% of his pitches were in the strike zone. 72% of his fastballs were in the strike zone, and he threw his four-seam fastball 71% of the time. So it was basically, here's my fastball, hit it. And the Royals couldn't do it because the Royals, as we've talked about ad nauseum on this podcast, on this postcast, the Royals are not a good fastball hitting team. They're the worst fastball hitting team other than the Chicago White Sox in Major League Baseball this season. And Ryan Nelson is one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball with his fastball. He has got, I'm going to pull it up because he's got really good IVB, which is induced vertical break, especially with the vertical break. It rides really well. He is 98th percentile in fastball run value this season, and he throws it, 72% of the time tonight. He's a 12% slider guy. We saw 6 sliders all game. Nelson had a game plan to come in and just absolutely dominate with his fastball. He has got 2.6 IVB on his fastball. That is one of the best in baseball. That is much better than average. And he is one of the best pitchers in baseball with the fastball. And like I said, 72% of his fastballs were in the zone. So it's not like the Royals weren't able to hit it because it was all over the place. His fastball was in the zone almost 3/4 of the time. 3 out of every 4 fastballs were pretty much in the zone for him. And so that's a reason why the Royals were awful today because obviously I think the Diamondbacks have one of the better pitching coaching staffs in the majors. They have been able to really improve the pitching staff year over year with some no-name guys, some rebound guys. But with a guy like Ryan Nelson, they said, okay, you've got a really good four-seam fastball, one of the best in baseball. This is one of the worst fastball hitting teams in Major League Baseball. I think that you know what to do. And it was just a good old number one the entire game. And the Royals couldn't make contact with it or make solid contact with it. They had some hard outs that I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for. But throughout the entire game, they just couldn't do enough to catch up with what Michael Wacha did on the mound. Michael Wacha was really bad today. This was a really bad outing for Michael Wacha. He's been really bad on the road this season. Before today, I'm going to pull up his splits because I looked at it earlier this week, and it was pretty eye-opening, some of the splits he had home and away. Sorry, you're seeing me do some research on the fly here. But home and away, Michael Wacha has been an entirely different pitcher. I'm pulling it up right now, and this is also before today. 4.53 ERA on the road, 5 strikeouts per 9 inning. At home, he's got a 2.81 with 8 strikeouts per 9 innings. So he's much better. He's much better at home than on the road. He got 2 starts on the road this week. Obviously, not what you want to see, but with those numbers, you got the results you kind of expected. He kept the ball in the yard for the most part. I mean, but he just didn't throw enough strikes. And that's kind of been Wacha's issue this year. He's not been very efficient in the zone. It was a problem in Seattle. He's just not that intimidating of a presence on the mound because he's got a pretty mediocre arsenal of pitches. He doesn't have a good slider. His changeup is his best pitch, and his fastball kind of sets it up. And so you've got 2 pitches that are kind of on the same plane, and you're not really able to fool many batters. And Michael Wacha wasn't fooling any Diamondbacks hitters today. They were spitting on a lot of pitches that he might get swings and misses at earlier this season. But today, honestly, was on Michael Wacha. He was not good enough for them to win. Just not good enough. And I think that he's a solid pitcher. I think that he's a B to B minus pitcher, B plus when he's at his best. I mean, I was at his outing against Tarek Skubal when he was dealing. When he's not in the zone, I mean, it's the same as Chris Bubich. When he doesn't have command with one of his pitches because he's a fastball, changeup, slider guy, then you're not going to get guys out. You're not going to be very effective. And we saw that on full display with Michael Wacha today. And honestly, the rest of the bullpen as well. I mean, from Wacha, you get 4 walks. I mean, this was a true Wendy's 4-for-4 outing for Michael Wacha. 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. I mean, that's a Wendy's day, 4-for-4 right there. Then John Schreiber was okay. Lynch was unspectacular. I'm kind of selling I think that Daniel Lynch is a guy, either him or Serpa, they have to trade one of them, I think. I know that everybody Sam Long isn't great, but whatever. He's a low leverage guy that you're going to use in mop-up duty. You need those guys in the bullpen. That's what they're there for. Taylor Clark wasn't good. Sam Long wasn't good. But I think, like they talked about on the broadcast, Lucas Ursig wasn't available yesterday. Steven Cruz wasn't available yesterday. Carlos Estevez wasn't available yesterday. So you're kind of seeing the back end of the bullpen, or the front end of the bullpen, I guess, kind of getting exposed a little bit against a really good lineup. I mean, the Diamondbacks are one of the best offenses in the majors, and they're just now getting healthy. So I think that, what we saw today from the offense is kind of what you expect, but at the same time, or from the pitching staff, is kind of what you expect, but still very frustrating. All right, trying to get to some comments here. Yeah, a lot of Sam Long hate in the chat. Guys, he was in mop-up duty of a 3-1 game. He did what he's supposed to do. He's not a good pitcher. He's not losing them any games they haven't already lost. Curious to know the last time that 5+ runs scored in back-to-back games. That's a good question, Brent. I'd have to assume that they probably back in May when they were on that winning streak, but even then they were winning a lot of 3-1, 3-2 games. A lot of comments here. Appreciate you guys going in. Gary saying Nelson went to his mouth repeatedly and should be looked at officially. Guys, they check every inning or every 2 innings. I don't think that he had a substance or anything. Guys lick their hands all the time, and you cannot go from your hand. They talked about it on the broadcast. You can't go from your fingers to the ball directly. That is a balk, and that is illegal. So you have to touch something else on your body first. He was touching his hat. I don't think there was an illegal substance on his hat. They checked their hat. They checked their glove. They checked their fingers. I don't think the umpires were doing a bad job at checking. They did a bad job umpiring today, I think, but I don't think that the umpires lost them the game. Looking at some other comments here. A lot of Wacha was not good. No bullpen arms. I mean, they've got plenty of bullpen arms, especially not Hunter Harvey starting a rehab assignment. They'll be fine. I'd have no issues with the way they're managing the bullpen. They really didn't need to win. I'm not saying they didn't need to win today's game, but they didn't need their aces in the bullpen today. They didn't lose the game because Ursig or Estevez wasn't available. So obviously a frustrating loss, but Again, they can go for a series win, and a win. If they win tomorrow, it's a above 500 road trip. So I think you kind of have to be happy about that. If you want to take things with a grain of salt, take things with the glass half full. They go for a winning road trip tomorrow, but obviously today leaves a bad taste in your mouth, especially after yesterday when they played so well and hit so well offensively. All right, when we come back, we will talk about more of your comments, and I'll go through more of my numbers and notes from the game. That's all coming up next on the Royals Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Gametime is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for an exciting upcoming MLB game, like the Royals-Pirates series starting on Monday. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, my numbers and kind of notes from the game here in my handy dandy notebook. Ball four galore, 6 walks. 3 of the 5 Royals hits came in the, I believe it was the 6th inning when they finally broke up the perfect game. After that, you get a single from Michael. Salvi grounds into a double play, and I can't remember when the other hit was. I mean, they might not even have had another hit, but a really bad outing from the offense. Frenzy hitting for an inning and then nothing else the rest of the way is not going to be enough to make the postseason. It's not going to be enough to win very many games. 0 walks for the Royals. Like I said, Ryan Nelson was in the zone. 72% of his fastballs were in the zone, and he threw his fastball 71% of the time. And when he wasn't throwing his fastball, guess what he was throwing? His cut fastball, which is looking at the velo on it, 94, average velocity of 92. He only threw 13 breaking balls all game long. That's pretty rough to have that be the outing you get smoked with. Still can't hit the fastball. I mean, I can't say it enough. They just can't hit the fastball. Until they get guys that can hit the fastball, this team's not going to win very many games. They're not going to win very many shootouts, I might say. I don't know if it's something you look for on the market, kind of just sort by batting average against fastballs. But, I mean, they've got to have an answer at some point. I think MJ Melendez was a lot better against fastballs last year. But, yeah, it continues to be an issue. Kyle Isbell is a negative right now for this Royals offense. And I know he's your 9-hitter, but he played good defense today. I get that. But, man, Kyle Isbell stinks right now at the plate. I mean, he does not have an approach. It doesn't look like he wants to be up there. I mean, I'm kind of getting into Drew Waters territory with Kyle Isbell, where it's like, yeah, he hit okay for a little bit, but the peripheral numbers, the exit velocities, the expected batting average, those are never going to be good enough to really make me buy in. And I think I think he's kind of running on his last leash. It's not like they have any guys in the system that can replace him, but they have to do a lot better of finding guys that, you don't have to play Isbell 5 or 6 times a week. You just can play him twice a week. Bobby Jr., 25 straight road games, hitting streak. Love to see that. And also my final note before I get to your guys' comments, I think the Arizona Stadium sound guy should be fired. That was one of the most it was so annoying watching that game with audio on. I didn't watch it with audio on last night, so I didn't get a full catch of it. I didn't get a full vibe of it. But to continue to play music like for every second in between pitches, just so your stadium doesn't sound as empty as it is. Like, I get it. It's a bit of a gripe, and it's probably going to be on my grinds my gears this week on ESPN Wichita. But I don't know. That was annoying to listen to all game long. And I'm sure if I was a fan, I don't need to hear the organ playing charge every 2 pitches. So those are my complaints for the game. Now let's get to your guys' comments. Canna needs to play tomorrow. It's Zach Gallen going tomorrow, so I doubt Mark Canna's in the lineup. When are we calling up MJ for Rave? At least MJ has pop. Listen, I think it's going to happen at some point. I don't think John Rave is on this team after the All-Star break, at least not in the Major League squad. I think that here in the next week or so, or before the All-Star break, you're going to see Tolbert go down for Massey because he's on his rehab right now. And you're going to see MJ come up for John Rave. I think those are the moves that they're going to make internally. And that doesn't even include the trades that I think they make. I know somebody asked Jack yesterday on his mailbag, do you see them making a trade before the All-Star break? I do personally. I think they add a bat to kind of float themselves a little bit of a cushion, like a bat that is under control for next season, to float themselves a little bit of a cushion to see if they can kind of make a push before the deadline. But yeah, I would say that MJ is going to be called up for Rave at some point soon. Guff says, what do we honestly do about Cags? We be patient. He's a 22-year-old kid that was playing college ball a year ago. He's going to have his struggles. You can't expect Nick Kurtz was really bad for the longest time for the A's. Jackson Holiday was terrible last year for the Orioles when he first came up. You have to be patient with these kind of things. He's not taking at-bats away from anybody you want to give at-bats to. So you kind of just have to be patient and take it for what it is. He's going to struggle. He's going to look like a 22-year-old rookie because that's what he is. And the power, I feel like, is going to get there at some point. He's just had to deal with some really tough pitching here recently. The Royals have run into a really tough stretch of arms dating back to the Rays series. The Rays, Dodgers, Mariners, Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks series, obviously not great pitching compared to those three. Those are three of the best franchises at developing arms. And the Royals have run into 3 of them in a row heading into this Diamondback series. They get the Pirates this week. And so at some point, water's going to find its level. They just had to deal with some really bad pitching or really good pitching. And the results have not been great. Obed says, man, I want to trade for an outfield bat soon. I think it's coming. Elizabeth says they need to platoon some guys. I mean, they are platooning guys. They're platooning John Rave or at least they were with Drew Waters. They were with Canna. I mean, Freddie and Salvi and the DH spot. I mean, they are platooning guys. They just don't have guys worth platooning with. That's just kind of the hand you've been dealt. This is not a very good roster. There's like 6 major league hitters on this roster right now, and you're carrying 13 and you have to bat 9. That's the issue right now. They have maybe 5 or 6 big league bats on the roster, and you have to employ 9. You have to have 13 on the roster. They do not have very many good bats in the organization. So you're kind of dealt. You kind of got to play with the hand you're dealt. And while I understand how you can say, well, they need to platoon some guys, they're doing their best. They don't really have any answers other than the best. This is the best 13 guys, except for, maybe Luke Maley isn't included in that group. He's just up there for the position he plays. They just don't have good bats anywhere in this system. So I think that this deadline is going to be a time for them to it's going to be a good time for them to reset the farm, at least the upper levels, to bring in some organizational depth because they need it more than anything. Some people are saying that John Rave doesn't need to go. I mean, guys, the peripherals are really bad on John Rave. He has not looked good at all. He's not any better than pretty much any of the other guys they have. Rave is learning how to work the count. Watch the ABs. You'll see his walks will be valuable in a month. I mean, I don't. What walks is he drawing? I mean, he's walking at like a 7% rate right now. I don't think that. I mean, they have nothing in the. I'm not a John Rave fan. He is what he is. He's 28 years old. He's never going to develop into a big league hitter. He's a good AAA hitter, and you kind of just have to take that for what it's worth. It's unfortunate that he had to be exposed as much as he has at the big league level, but he doesn't hit the ball hard. He doesn't hit the ball with carry. There are guys in rookie ball right now that have more pop in their bat than John Rave, and that's an issue. This lineup doesn't need guys that can take walks. This lineup needs guys that can hit the ball hard and hit the ball over the fence, and they don't have that. And John Rave is just kind of a guy right now. I don't think he's a major league bat, and I really don't ever think he will be one. But I'd love for him to prove me wrong. But yeah, appreciate your guys' comments. We'll be back here tomorrow. I think we've got another 3:10 first pitch tomorrow. So expect me back here once again tomorrow with another similarly scheduled Locked On Royals postcast. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. See you back here tomorrow. This has been the Royals postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.